Yo, what's good, YouTube community? What's up, man? I appreciate everybody coming through. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. We are back for part 2 of the Let's Talk Sync Strategy 2024. So every day, your boy's going live to give y'all some game at 10 a.m. every morning here on YouTube and Instagram for the people who are on Instagram. So let me see what we got in the building, man. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. We're gonna dig to part 2, but before we go, we go into part 2. We're gonna make sure we're gonna see if some of y'all did y'all's homework, man, because there was homework if you was in the stream yesterday. So I don't know if you missed it. That's why you need to come to class. That's why y'all be slacking now. Y'all don't come to class with your notes and taking notes. What's up, 808? I see you in the building, man. Good to see you. Who else do we have in the building? I'm super excited for 2024 personally. I'm excited every year. Like, you're never gonna find me like, oh, this year I'm not excited. But I'm excited because I just think I don't know, man. Like, anytime there's like some sort of drought in creation, like with this whole strike and all that stuff, we seen things shut down in COVID. When things open back up, usually there's just a huge burst of work across the board. So I think it's going to be fun, man. I think it's going to be like a lot of new content being created for TV, film, media. The creator space has been growing. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities there. For music, and yeah, man, just a lot of dope stuff going on in the space. So I think it's gonna be dope. Music in Mind Productions, what's good? Team Dope in the building. Shout out to the channel members. Byron McConnell from Oklahoma, what's good? 808 was first. I see you. Shout out to 808 being first on the YouTube chat. Flares is in the building. We got a legend. A live music review legend in the building. What's up, Flares, man? Hope all is well. So let me see. All right, before we get started, let me see y'all. Let me see who did y'all's homework, man. Who was on the stream yesterday? Let's ask that first. Who was in here on the live stream yesterday, so I can see if these numbers add up. Because if y'all weren't here, then of course you didn't do your homework. But if you was here, I should see some of y'all. Comment that y'all did y'all sync homework. Producer from Nashville, what's up, Justin Abraham. Saw the video late. Oh, it's all good. You seen it. It's all good. Music in Mind was in the building, indeed. We got Instagram over here. JDT Music said they picked their genre already. We got Spain in the building over here on IG. And they dropping fire emojis. They ready for these gems on IG. YouTube, I don't know. Y'all might have to catch up. C. Vaughn, what's good? LW, I'm never introduced as a legend. I'm the one that made this channel great. LW just snapping early in the stream. LW is a legend. She's an OG to this channel. So shout out to the legend, the legendary LW. That's gonna be your official title now. The legendary LW has entered the YouTube stream. So yes, she has contributed to making this channel great. All right, so we got some people who was in the stream. All right, who did y'all's homework, man? What genre did y'all pick? Which genre are y'all focusing on going into 2024 for Sync? Excello's back in the building. All right, I know Excello was in here last night. What's good, man? So let me know. Let me see what genre y'all gonna be focusing on, man. Let's see. Patty's in the building. What's up, Patty? Hip hop. Flares is focusing on hip hop. and I'm sure it's going to be some of the most epic sounding hip hop. Flares is just on another level. Can't go wrong with hip hop. I mean, you really can't. It's just, it's everywhere. Music and Mind Productions is focusing on hip hop, super dope. BH Loom Tunes is focusing on metal, electronic, chill out. Let me see what other orchestral hip hop. That's another dope one. It gets used all the time. What else we got? Hip hop. It's a lot of hip hop. What shows? I'm curious as to what shows did y'all watch yesterday where y'all heard the music to be able to pick your genre? Like what show? Was it a show? Was it a movie? Were you listening to commercials? 808 says ambient electronic music first, then lo-fi hip hop. That's dope. I love making ambient. I have a few ambient tracks that are like in the lineup that I need to go in and finish up. What's today? Tuesday. So I know I have stems I gotta do for a couple songs. So I'll probably get to it. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe by the end of this week or like early next week, maybe. But I need to knock that stuff out. So I'm gonna be doing some ambient stuff. That's a good genre. I didn't see part one, but with Def going to hip hop, pop, R&B, alt rock. Yeah, those are good. But yeah, you can. The first is uploaded. Like I'll put these up once it's done. All right, so listen, man, y'all picked some good genres. This is stuff that's being requested a lot in sync. And you know that's going to increase your chances of placement because, like I said yesterday, picking a genre that's just not requested a lot, yeah, like it could end up somewhere, you know what I mean? But like we're trying to get like, you know, as many placements as possible. We want to make music that's valuable and like in high demand so that we get more work, we get more placements, we get more sync deals. So that's why it's important to listen to what's being used and then, you know, pick a genre that you're going to focus on based off of what you're hearing a lot of. Patty P says genre more pop and orchestral hip hop, R&B and Afro beats. Yeah, Afro beats has been on fire too, especially on like social media. I feel like I've been drinking this coffee for like 2 hours. It's just not going away. Anthemic stadium songs for ads. Perfect. By the way, the new Google ad song, All Eyes on Me, features my artist Tia P. Let's go. See Von out here working. I love it. So that's dope. So Sivan already has some insight on what's being used in ads because their artist has some placements on a Google ad. So that's super dope. And man, that's the key. Like you figure out what's working, and then you just do more of what's working. You double down on that. That's what I did, man. I got my first placement, NFL Network. Then it got used on Fox Sports, and then I was just like, okay, well, if NFL Network and Fox Sports like it, there's probably other networks that like music like this or other shows or whatever. So let me do more of this. And that's what it's all about, man. Just picking up on the clues. Been listening to the cues during the NBA games. Dope. That's the great, like, man. So much music is used throughout games, football games, basketball games. A lot of dope stuff. All right, so let's dig into part 2 of this thing. So the first thing we got to do is decide the target genre. That's what we talked about yesterday. Today, we need to talk about deciding what your target medium is going to be. And by medium, I mean, like, what lane are you trying to focus on? Like, are you trying to focus on the micro sync space? You know, the YouTube creators, the TikToks and the the podcasts and things like that, like some of these, I won't say smaller platforms because YouTube is massive, but just not TV, not a movie, you know what I mean? Not a whole show, but more so like a YouTube channel or a streaming channel, a gaming channel, things like that where they need music. There's different outlets for that. So let's talk about some of the different medium you can use to get your music played. So we know we have reality TV. So that's going to be a lot of production music. So production music libraries, I feel like it's going to be the best way to break into that space. Documentaries, kind of the same thing. You can get a lot of that stuff. They're getting a lot of that stuff from production music libraries. Occasionally I'll run into a music supervisor who's like working on, documentary style content. So that's an opportunity. Then you have movies like, featured movies where it's just like a full film. Or there's also short films. So there's websites like Pond 5 is one that always comes to mind. But Pond 5, you have a lot of different independent filmmakers and things like that on those sites trying to find music that they can use for their projects. So you can hit up pond5.com. You can hit up premiumbeat.com is another one where you can upload music on there, set your terms and rates and all that stuff. And then, filmmakers will come there to license music. So you kind of get like those one-off license fees per project. And then just depending on what the terms is, I think they have different tiers or something like that. You can earn just passive income just by having a catalog on those sites geared towards, some of the smaller filmmakers, not like the big networks and things like that all the time. But some of the people who just like, they don't have like a massive multi-million-dollar budget, but like they have some money that they can pay to be able to use some music without them having to stress out on whether or not they have the rights to use it. You know what I mean? Hey, Mill, what's good, bro? I'm looking for ads. That's my focus right now. Love it. Appreciate it, Matthew. Just linked with Josh. Me and Josh used to play in concert band back in middle school. Oh, that's fire. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who came through Shades of Sync. It was crazy. It was definitely a vibe. So we got, let me see. We got reality TV, we got documentaries, we got movies. We have like the independent filmmakers where you can go through sites like Premium Beat, pond5.com. There's other ones out there like stock music sites that you can use for stuff like that. And then you have like video games and apps and stuff, which that was one thing that we went into detail on at the Shades of Sync. There's so many games and apps that need music, that need sound design, that need mixing, that needs all types of stuff that, some of these apps and games probably don't even realize they need until, they have somebody who knows what they're doing working on it. So those are all opportunities to be able to reach out to developers, reach out to companies and start bagging some of those placements, man, because music is needed in just so many different things. And when people think of video games, like don't just think like these big AAA games, like think some of the smaller games like in the App Store. Think of games that are like on Apple TV or whatever. Like there's so many more opportunities than just like the big popular ones, and a lot of them have budgets. Like they have something they can give you for your time, for your work, and for your music. So you kind of gotta dig and like search and go find these opportunities because they're out there, man. And then being linked up with publishers, music libraries, you're also going to get some of those video game opportunities through them as well, because a lot of times publishers, they have like multiple clients who just do multiple things. Like they're working on movies, they're working on reality shows, they're working on documentaries, they're working on ads, they're working on video games. So Being in a place where all of these companies and these brands and things like that are looking for music, it's going to make it easier for you to start getting your music placed if you're submitting consistently to these publishers and libraries and licensing companies and things like that. So you need to decide what your target medium is going to be. And the reason why you need to do that is because depending on which lane you go down, it's going to require a different set of skills, right? Flares can tell you composing trailer music is different than just, creating a song and that song just being placed in a TV show somewhere, right? Like, there's a completely different structure to trailer music. So if you're focusing on trailer music, now you should be studying like what the structure is. You should be listening to a boatload of trailers to get an idea of like how they're structuring the music. Like, where does the music build up? How does it drop? What are they doing with like the sound design elements, right? Because it's a completely different beast. Same thing with ads. A lot of ads are like 30, 60 seconds, right? So now you're like trying to create messaging with your music and a vibe with your music in a very, very short period of time that has to deliver like everything that brand is looking for in a short period of time. So that's like a totally different thing, like writing specifically for ads, outside of just them, chopping a piece of your song. A lot of times, custom projects, they're like, yo, we need somebody to like create something for us, and this is what we're looking for. So you got to be able to know how to structure that, and how to build your track so that, it's getting to the point. Because with 60 seconds, like, you don't have a lot of time to be like super creative and taking forever for the drums to drop. Like, you jumping straight into that joint. So you got to make sure whatever you're going to focus on, you need to start studying that. You need to start consuming content based around that, so you can become a specialist in that. And then that's going to be the target medium that you're going to go after and like really, really focus. Because that's the problem with a lot of people, man. They're trying so many different things, just trying to get in. It's like, I'm gonna just try this, try that. And it's like no focus, and then nothing moves because you're trying everything, and it's taking all the energy that you could use and apply to one thing and like crush it with that one thing, but your focus is split in like 5 different ways. So if you just pick one thing and focus on just one thing, you'll be able to see progress faster. So that's why we're like getting just super duper hyper focused over these next 5 days, by just picking one genre, picking one medium, you know what I mean? And then we'll go into some of the other things later this week. So make sure y'all come back 10 a.m. So let me see. Let me get to some of these comments. It seemed like the message is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, it's like it's that, and then it's and then it's also like put all your eggs in one basket to get started, sort of. It's weird because like you can spread yourself too much, and then it's just like, again, it's lack of focus, and then you don't see progress. So imagine if you're getting like three different types of briefs, right? Imagine you're getting a brief for 30 and 60 second ads, and then you're getting a brief for full songs for shows and movies. And then imagine if you're getting briefs for movie trailers, right? So like imagine you're trying to do all of these things at once, especially if you're just getting started. Like I know people like, they do all these things, right? And they do it well. But like when you're just getting started and you're not really familiar for real with like how things work, this will get overwhelming very, very quick. Versus if you just take one thing, right? And like all you're creating is this one thing. So say if the one thing was 30, 60 second ads, now you just like, yo, 30 60-second ads, like I know I kind of have a structure, a formula here that I'm gonna use. So every time I get a brief, boom, I'm gonna just knock it out. And you're like locked into this zone for 30 to 60-second ads, and you're just knocking them out because you're just in that zone. It's like content creation. Like when I create content, right? If I take the time to set up a camera, set up lights, set up audio, and I spend like an hour doing that, why would I not like just do everything that has to do with shooting videos after I just took all that time setting the camera up, versus setting the camera up, doing one video, breaking it down, then going over here, doing something else, then going back, setting the camera back up. Like, no, like focus on the one thing, focus on videos, focus on 30, 60-second ads, focus on full songs, and then just like go in on that for, you know, until you see some traction, or until somebody says like, yo, this is trash, you need you need to work on it, whatever. At least you know, okay, maybe this ain't for me, let me try this next thing, or just let me get better at the one thing. Because honestly, even if you're trash now, you can always get better. You just gotta suck it up and put in the work, do the research, and get better at it. Like if you suck, but you can get better. That's the dope part. So if you're not so good at one thing, but you really, really want to do the one thing, to just start studying the one thing and get great at the one thing. And then that will open doors for the other things. So it makes those easier, because you've built this reputation of just killing this one thing that they're just like, yo, they're amazing. So you want to try this too? And then you say yes. And then boom, now you're branching out into other things. So A Mill says no back end on video game placements right now, though maybe in the future. Yeah, man, I think so. I hope so. Because there's no back end on video games. Like it's, you know, if a video game sells, like, you know, you don't get like back end royalties on that stuff. Usually you get like a, you know, upfront sync fee, and then that's usually it. You may get in like a weird situation where, like, I don't know, the video game is being played on something or streamed and the music is playing, then you could probably get some type of performance royalties from that. But immediately from the sales of video games, no, not at this moment. Matthew says, y'all don't forget to like and share the stream. Just send this to another homie that's working towards getting sync placements. Appreciate that. Definitely make sure you hit the like button and share it with somebody who needs this. Flair says you have to be a specialist. That's a fact. I mean, people love specialists. You know I would, if I was getting an expensive surgery done, I would want a specialist doing it, not just somebody who's like, oh, I do a little bit of everything. Like I work on, you know, I do a little bit of you know, I work on cats a little bit, some dogs, horses, and then occasionally I'll work on, you know, pediatrics, and, you know, an adult here and there. But yeah, I can definitely take care of your brain surgery for you. Yeah, that would be a hard no for me. So LW, appreciate that. Yes. So if you guys don't know, I am having a special 50% off all of my courses for producers. Just use the code Black Friday 23, and yeah, you'll get 50% off. Take advantage of it, because it will not last long, and it's gonna go back up to full price. So the link to that is in the description, or if you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. Lamar Webster has entered the stream. What's up, Lamar? Have some balance, start focused though. Facts. Facts. All right, y'all. So yeah. So decide your target genre. No, I'm sorry. Decide your target genre was yesterday. Decide your target medium is what we're focused on today. So the homework would basically be, think about what you want to specialize in when it comes to sync, so you can start working to become a specialist, and just get hyper focused. So let's open it up for some questions, man. Let me see. We got some on IG. Brian Tilo says, how feasible is it to do sync with a full-time 9 to 5? Absolutely feasible. Like, I did it for 7 years before I quit my job. you can absolutely do it. Now, it ain't gonna be easy. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be a grind. It's gonna be a sacrifice, man. Cause let me tell you, like, 9 to 5, depending on what you do, you know, giving your energy for 8+ hours a day, and listen, and if you got the commute used to wear me out in Atlanta, and this traffic, bro, that was tiring. But listen, you're drained when you get home from work. So, you know, a lot of times what I would do, I would get home, grab a little snack, grab a power nap, like a solid hour, and then just get back up and then focus. Like, it depends on what you have going on during the day, and what your schedule looks like. But you're gonna have to give up something. You know, it's gonna be watching a bunch of TV. It's gonna be playing video games. It's gonna be sleeping for 10 hours. Like, you're gonna have to cut back on some sleep. You're gonna have to wake up earlier. You're gonna have to stay up later. You're gonna have to sacrifice some things to be able to make it work and make things grow. But it's absolutely doable. I did it. So, and I know other friends of mine who now do sync full time, they did it as well. We started with as a thing on the side until that thing overshadowed what we were doing on the 9 to 5. And then once you get more time back, then you can really double down, and take things to another level. But a huge thing that helped me, when I was working my 9 to 5 and building my production business and getting sync placements, was optimization and delegation. So there's like there's a lot of things that you have to do in sync, that takes up a lot of your time, and you got to figure out what those things are so that you can start delegating them. So I hired a VA to do a lot of those things, so that the only thing that I had to focus on was like creating the music and creating the stems of that music. So like that's the only thing I really want to focus on. So let me get somebody who can do, you know, the admin stuff, the uploading, the sending, the like whatever it is that you do, you can literally have someone else do it, leverage their time. Like, if you don't have a lot of time, you can hire somebody else and leverage the time that they have, where that's the only thing that they do. So that's what I do. So, and I'm going to go over that in detail in the Sync Producer Growth Pack 2.0. So make sure you're on the wait list, the Black Friday wait list. Link is in the description. Get on that. If you're on Instagram, just comment wait list. Get on that, because I'm going to break down like exactly like how everything in my business is set up from like an optimization standpoint. That's going to help you even if you have a 9 to 5. So that's crucial. You definitely need that. And that keeps a lot of people from growing, like not being able to properly delegate and identify all the things that you don't have to be doing. You know what I mean? So let's get to some questions. We got one from 808. If we have the old Road to 10 Placements course, do we have access to the Discord? If not, how can we get access to that? Yes, you should. Because I know that, like, the original Road to 10 Placements course, a bonus with it was a Facebook group, but we dropped that link, the Discord link, in the Facebook group. And then now, like, we're not I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about Facebook, but it's just, that thing is just, I can't breathe life into it. It's just doesn't do anything. I get a few people like comment here and there, but you know, so yeah, Discord. The Discord community is live and popping. Everybody's helping each other out in there. There's some people sharing their wins. It keeps you motivated. To get an invite to that, how do you get an invite to that? Let's see. Email support. Support at ClintProductions.com. And for those who trying to sneak in, you're gonna have to show like proof that you purchased the previous Road to 10 Placements. So some type of screenshot. Yeah, I don't care if it's like a screenshot on your computer of the course or something, but they're gonna need to see some type of proof that you're actually enrolled in the course. because the Discord is invite only. So 808, email support at clintproductions.com, and then anybody else who like has that course but didn't get Discord. If you have the updated course where it's just full video, Roll to 10 Placements course, the details to join the Discord is in the resources in the course curriculum. So just like scroll to the bottom, look at resources, and then you'll see the link to be able to get in there. The goal is to eventually be able to deliver any genre, but they all sound like you. Facts. Collaboration is key, keeps you on your toes, and helps to expand your horizon. For sure. Let me take some of these. Let's see what Instagram talking about. Oh, they don't have no question. Shout out to my people on Instagram. They just soaking it in. Oh, some of them watching on YouTube. I feel it. I'm not mad at that. The homework this week is decide what your target medium is going to be. It's going to be like TV, ads, movie trailers, video games, sound design, micro sync. Figure out which one you want to kind of double down on and focus. Is it only an upfront sync payout for shows that are strictly for streaming like Netflix or Hulu as well? No, you get royalty. You get royalties. But usually, yeah, you get like an upfront sync for like a Netflix show or a Hulu show. It depends. It depends. Sometimes you don't. Like if like a production music library like did a deal with a show, then you may not see an upfront sync. You may just get royalties. So it depends, it just depends. But the royalties on streaming like Netflix it's embarrassing. Really is. It's way like night and day between, traditional television and like cable television. Network TV, cable TV. The royalties are way better on just like TV versus Netflix and stuff like that. For the most part, do you publish your own records or allow the agency to publish some? I usually let the publishers publish, man. For the most part, like occasionally I'll publish some things, like if I just have some direct connection with somebody or some company, I'll do it then. But usually, man, again, it's like delegation. It's just a lot involved with being a publisher. A lot of admin stuff. I like to create too much right now to just be doing that all the time. So yeah, appreciate that. The legendary LW. Which course would you suggest if I want to get into sync? I'm already aware of the production, maybe more insight about structure. If you want more insight about structure, get the how to structure instrumentals for TV course. That's where I would start, because that's crucial. And then Roll to 10 Placements is like, if you need a blueprint of what the process looks like to like how to reach out to companies, how to find companies, what to say to them, how to prepare your music, what they're looking for, what they're not looking for, how not to get blacklisted, very critical things like that. What else do I put? I mean, I literally I just put anything that will help you on your journey. I put it in the Roll to 10 Placements. Structure literally just focuses on like the production and structure of the music. And I had to do like a whole separate course for that, because that's how deep it goes. So yeah, that's what I would suggest, depending on where you are. Because some people like a previous student of mine, Tim Bird. Shout out to Tim. Like before he purchased a course, he already had placements, right? But he took the course and then refined some other things, and then the structure was like super helpful for him because then he was able to go back to some of the stuff he did, restructure it, and then he started to see an increase in his placement. So depending on where you are, you know, like he already knew how to reach out, find companies, but that structure really helped him and was valuable to him. So it just depends on where you are. So would you suggest Netflix or Hulu original royalties be per stream? Nah, man, I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't know, because it's very ambiguous on my royalty statement. It'll say Hulu, and then it'll say like 0.00037 cents or something like that. And it doesn't even say the show most times. Like, it's super like, can I have more info, please? Like, they don't give you hardly any info. At least with CSAC on my end. It could be different with BMI, ASCAP. I'm not sure, but it's very vague. What's up, Mr. Robertson? Haven't got many replies for almost 20 libraries I submitted to. The only replies I did receive was either they're not accepting new composers or not accepting my type of music at the time. So I'm still going. Super dope. This is what I would do. So we know the strike was going on, so things kind of slowed down. So demands probably weren't as high. And that happens. I would like make a note and then circle back around. I would definitely follow up like the top of the new year, like I would say like mid-January, because like it slows down, like, you know, I think like a half a month in January, things kind of slow down. Then by February, like everybody going in, like, and then by March, April, we working on Christmas music. Like, it's crazy. So follow up with them, and then instead of submitting music first, ask them like, and I'm giving y'all information that I give like my TV placement mastery students. I shouldn't be doing this, but like follow up with them and then ask them, like what are their current needs? Like, what do they need currently? Versus submitting something and then letting them tell you, oh, we don't need your music. But like ask them like what their current needs are, if they need anything or any specific genre. That way, if you have to pivot depending on what you were submitting, that'll kind of, you know, allow you to kind of pivot and say, okay, well, I'm gonna just create something based off of their needs. That's what it's all about, man. Just giving them what they need. So that's what I would do. Around this time of year, things will kind of slow down a little bit, but it's gonna pick back up. I know this time last year I was finishing up like some of the projects that we started with some publishers and the albums, and that kind of ran into like the new year. So yeah. What was this? Ludi Love or Judy Love? A digital structure video for a new track to showcase for a panel for music supervising agencies. Got some emails in my pocket now. Thank you. Now I got to finish the courses to understand. Yeah, indeed. No, I'm glad it helped. Love from Nigeria. What's good? Shout out to my Nigerian homies. Is it important to learn some basic music for sync? Music theory. I mean, I think it can help. Is it necessary? No, but I mean, I think it can help. But I'm telling you, there's tons of people out here who don't know like any theory whatsoever. They probably don't even know what key they playing on the piano, and they out here crushing it. So don't let that stop you. Daniel says, so if you get rejected, can you follow up the next quarter? Absolutely. No just means next opportunity. So make a note. And it depends on why you're getting rejected though, too. Cause not all rejections are created equal. So if you get rejected because your production quality needs to be improved, you got to go back and improve your production quality before following up. Cause like, following up just to follow up and you haven't made any improvements is not going to change their mind. You know what I mean? So go back to the drawing board. See if you can pull a little more information out of them, like, what exactly needed to be improved, or is it just a timing thing? You just don't have a need for it, but the quality is there. Excuse me. LW got jokes. I feel it already because she said I wasn't gonna make it through the week because I was choking yesterday. I was losing my voice yesterday, but some just went down the wrong pipe. Legendary LW. So so it depends on why they're rejecting you, right? If it's just a thing where it's just like, we just don't have a need, then follow up. I prefer to follow up with different music and then go from there. But yeah, if you can get some feedback, because I've had students too where they got rejected and then the company told them why. They went back, made improvements to the track, resubmitted, and then they got accepted, and then they got a licensing deal. So that happens too. So yeah. Pop says this stream is a masterclass in itself. Much appreciated. Y'all know, man, it's listen, I don't hold back, man. I'm sharing whatever I can, man, to help you guys in this hour or so. Because it's so many opportunities out there. I got the sports. I need those sports publishers. Most publishers, like I'm telling you, when it comes to sports music, most publishers are submitting that stuff. Like I remember when who was it? Was it CBS? Yeah, CBS Sports. Man, I've seen CBS Sports briefs from like every publisher I work with. It's the same brief. You just gotta pick which one you want to submit it to. But they literally, like, they cast their nets wide because they go through a ton of music. So yeah, nobody talks about the importance of making stems as usable as possible. Some of the best placements were a stem that was perfectly placed in the visual. Man, dude, I talked about that on one of my placement breakdown videos, because like when you create stems and you take your time creating stems, alternate versions and things like that, those get placed sometimes before the full version of the track or like the original mix. So those are super crucial because a placement is a placement. Like, you're not going to get paid differently if they use 45 seconds of the full version of your instrumental cue versus 45 seconds of the drum and bass instrumental version of your cue. It's going to be the same amount of money. It doesn't matter how many tracks. It could just be the drums. Doesn't matter. They used it. So yeah, I know it's a little bit of extra work, but put that extra work in, because say you work with a company, they require you to create 5 additional stems. I have one now where I have to create at least like 4 or 5 sets of stems or alt mixes. And then I got to do like individual track outs or whatever for them to kind of mix and master how they want. So that's going to take a little extra time, but I'm going to do it because with those 5 alt mixes, plus the flexibility of having the individual stems, like that's giving me like 5-6 different chances to get something placed with those different versions. And then it can go even longer than that if you're breaking it down to 30, 60, 15, a sting, you know what I mean? So you're just increasing your chances of getting something placed, versus just having like just this one, final version and then that's it. So that's a great point, Flares. Trademark that quote. I can't, man, because I got to shout out my guy Neo Davis. I heard that from him and it stuck with me. So I can't take the credit from. I don't know if he got it from somebody else, but I heard it and then I just couldn't shake it, couldn't get rid of it, because it's so true. When you look at no's that way, no means next opportunity. All right, let me see if Instagram has some stuff. Atlanta checking in. What's good? When I hear production quality, sum it up with 3 main factors, if you would. Okay. So LV Drizzle 2 wants me to sum up production quality in 3 main factors. Number 1, sound selection. Number 2, the mix and master. I'll combine those two, mix and master. So, volume can't be super low, and then your levels have to be good. Like, you can't have like a blaring 808 and you can't hear anything else in the track, or like you just have this super spicy snare that's just smacking so hard that it just hurts your ear, or this vocal that has so much high end on the EQ that all you hear is throughout the whole song. So sound selection, we're talking about, not using dated sounds like from like a Casio keyboard with the speakers on it, like using high quality sounds and samples. Your strings, you want them to sound realistic. You want to play strings like a string instrument would be played. You want, solid drum samples, which is going to make your mixing easier, because if you use high quality sounds and samples and things like that, and by samples I'm talking about one shots, like a snare sample, a kick sample, what have you, use higher quality sounds, is going to make mixing easier. You're going to have to do less work. So, sound selection is huge, making sure you're using current sounding sounds, unless you're working on a brief and they're asking for, I don't know, like some 70s soul music or whatever, like, then of course your sounds are going to be a little bit different than something that's, on the charts today. So sound selection is important, mix and mastering is important, and then the performance of the music. Like, sometimes I hear, piano and it's like real choppy, it's not smooth, there's no sustain pedal being used, and it's just not smooth. Or drums like they're not like, they're off, like really, really off grid, and not like in a dope, Jay Dilla type way. Like they're just off. Like this doesn't even feel good. So making sure like your timing of when things are being played is on point. If you have vocals on that joint, like making sure the performance of the vocal is good, you know what I mean? Making sure that sounds good, making sure it was recorded well, and it's not somebody up on the mic like this, yelling in the mic and it's getting distorted. You know what I mean? Making sure it's clean. Have them take a couple steps back, put a pop filter in front of them, so you're not getting all those P's and S's and all that stuff. So like, it boils down to sound selection, mix and mastering, and, good quality performances. And that's instrumentally and vocally. So Pop says, I got clown for my Casio beats in 2003. That was pivotal. Listen, man, I had the Casio, man. That's where a lot of the stuff started for me, man. Like with playing keys, the Casio keyboard was the go-to. And then I had to upgrade to the motif. But man, I don't know what it was about that Casio keyboard though. All the F keys would break on that joint. Like every F key was broken. So I had to modulate like entire octaves to be able to play a song, because the last 2 F keys were intact. So I would just play like on these higher octaves over here, but I had to like, it was ghetto rigged. So it was crazy. So yeah, man, do you master the stems? Depends on who I'm sending to. Sometimes they ask me to master them, sometimes they don't. A project I'm working on right now, they don't want the stems mastered, so none of those stems will be mastered. So it depends on who I'm submitting to. Lady producer in the building. Let me see. I'm gonna take a couple more questions, man, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We covered a lot on this. Houston checking in. What's good? The official Eclipse. What's up, bro? Let's see. First keyboard was the Casio. Listen, the Casio was the beginning for most of us. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's a rite of a rite of passage. The Casio had no more F's to give. Yo, that's hilarious. Shout out to Suede Jury for that comment. Literally. So, you know, I mean, you got to start somewhere. Like, start. I mean, that's the most important thing. Start. I don't care what you have. Start with it. You have buckets. Start with the buckets and some mic off of Temu. Like, do whatever you got to do to get started. And as you get started, you get better, and then you get better things, and just keep going. You might not get a placement at first, but, you know, you'll never get it if you don't start. So 808 has 2 questions. How much headroom do you leave for mastering when mixing instrumentals for TV, movies? If you do master, what's your target loves? I don't focus too much on it. I'm just making sure my dB is like negative 0.1. And with everything turned up as loud as I can while hitting negative 0.1 dBs on the master chain, and turn everything up to the point to where it doesn't sound distorted. And then if I can turn my gain knob up on like my mastering plugin, I'll do that. But as far as headroom, I'll leave a lot of headroom pre-mastering. Like I'm all the way in the green. Like as long as you're in the green, you're pretty cool. Sometimes, you know, it depends on what's going on in your mix. It varies. Sometimes, say if I have just an ambient piano track, I'll have a ton more headroom with that using a piano and like a pad versus a fully produced like hip hop song that has like 808s and drums and, you know, all these other different things that are like taking up space in the mix. So it just depends on what's going on. 808 has a Temu mic. Let's go. Listen, man, you guys, it's working. It's recording. Casio slander allowed. First keyboard ever. Let's get, yo, Trev, you had the Casio too? Listen, this has officially turned into the Casio community. This is amazing. Like, now I know, like, I'm a coach producer starting out, and I'm just like, the first thing you must buy is this Casio keyboard. I'm going to add the Casio keyboard to my Amazon gear list and be like, start here. Every successful producer has to start here. Acid Pro, I remember that. It's crazy. Yo, Trev, I gotta get Trev on the podcast, yo. I gotta get you on the podcast, bro. This dude's been killing it. Listen, man, people be trying to play Temu. Like these mics that, like a lot of stuff is imported anyway. But I've had some mics that just shipped just straight from China. They sound good. I got a, what's that? I got some cheap mics, man. And listen, they'll get the job done. It's better than not having a mic. You are guaranteed not to get a placement if you don't have a mic to record those vocals with. First sampler keyboard I had was a Casio SK1. 3 seconds of sampling. 3 whopping seconds. That is hilarious. Patty P still got the Casio. Let's go, Patty. It's Team Casio out here. I started with the Yamaha, but it wasn't the motif. It was the Casio ones that made hella noise while playing. Yo, I know exactly which Yamaha you're talking. Like, there's like these tiers of Yamaha keyboards. Casio, I don't think Casio ever like made it to like, I've never seen like a professional grade Casio, but Yamaha, they have different levels. It's different levels to the Yamaha. So that's funny. This is like the sync producer starter kit. Casio keyboard with speakers, and a Temu mic. The Yahoo keyboard with the Yamaha keyboard with arpeggio was my upgrade for me. Oh man, I cannot. So yeah. Is it more important to be a better producer or have more knowledge on effective sync licensing? Everything starts with the music. So I absolutely believe that you should focus on becoming a good producer. This is the tricky part though. Like you don't know if you're good enough until you start putting the music out there and like submitting it and letting people hear it and get feedback. Cause you may be good enough right now to start getting licensing deals. So, you know, get around a community. We do live music reviews on Wednesday nights at 9:30. You know, come through, play your music, and see where it stands. That way you'll know, okay, my music is good enough. Let me just start pitching. Because some people, like, they just never get started because they're in their head, like, I don't know if it's good enough, so let me keep working. But yeah, I mean, everything starts with the music. So your music has to sound good. You gotta work on that for sure. DX7 was king. Facts. I refuse to throw it out. It's where I started. I feel you. Listen, if mine wouldn't have basically disintegrated, I would have kept mine too. Casio FZ10 was a professional rack mount sampler. Okay. Now Casio, like, we got to give Casio credit though. Like they're here for a reason. They've been around forever. So I'm sure they got something pro out. Right. Maybe good enough and don't really realize it. It's just, yeah, it really is. It really is. So, so that's it, man. Y'all hilarious for real. So we're going to be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. with part 3. Y'all's homework is to figure out what you want to focus on medium wise. Is it TV? Is it movies? Are you doing, full songs? Are you doing instrumentals? You doing YouTube, content creators? Are you video games? Sound like, what are you doing? What are you focusing on? Let's get focused. So think about that for the rest of the day. Think about it tonight. Just think about it. Just sit there and think. And then we'll be back for part 3 tomorrow. Again, description. The link is in the description. Make sure you get on the wait list for this Black Friday bundle that will be dropping. You don't want to miss it. There's only going to be a certain number of them available. So get on that wait list so you'll be the first to know about it before I blast it to my email list of like tens of thousands of producers. So yeah, you'll get first dibs because there's a special Black Friday list that you'll be on, not just the general list that everybody gets. So get that and then take advantage of the 50% coupon code Black Friday 23 at clintproductions.com/courses. So take advantage of that. If you're on IG, just comment the word waitlist and I'll DM you the link. But that's it, man. Y'all keep it up. We're heading into 2024. I'm trying to equip y'all, give y'all the knowledge, give y'all the tools so that you can be successful going into this new year. And that's it, man. I'm out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.